welcome back to In The Crosshairs, your definitive resource for all things sports betting. And we are back at it again to keep you guys posted on everything that you need to know for this week in sports. Today we are joined by two of our lovely line sniper analysts. First up, the conditioner of sports betting, baby, Mr. Joey Knish. Joey, how did your week treat you? I know one of the guys here in the studio took your advice on that Georgia Tech bet, so we love that for the team. But how did your week go for you so far?
You know, it was phenomenal. The evil empire's out. They're gone. We made a little money in college football. Unfortunately, the people I know, some guys made a little money in there too, even though, you're slurping the Yankees up all show. But listen, I'm happy for them. I'm happy for the people. I'm happy for the team. And no, I'm glad to be here. A little football action, getting ready to go for it. So no, and I get to, trash J-Mass now and, put him in it. I'm usually, letting Sam know what's good, but now I get to, straighten J-Mass out for this show. So that's a fun one.
There you have it, James. Do you see this abuse that we get? It's so
rough.
Unnecessary. It's so rough. All right there, Joey. And you've got your wingman for today's show. It's your boy, James Mazzola. We had you on the podcast earlier today, Bettor's Tribune. Check it out on podcast apps. And you're back for the show. Love to see it, Mr. James. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to, we got two baseball games tonight, NFL game, rare Tuesday NFL game. So a lot to talk about. I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, 2020 is really weird, but there we go. The NBA Finals are over. LeBron took home yet another ring, but that doesn't mean we don't have sports to talk about. We got, like you said, the MLB postseason. We have college football, and of course, we've got the NFL. Yeah, so we are going to be doing just fine today, and we are going to hopefully make you some cash. And if you need more of that advice that's going to help you win some cash, then you should probably check us out on social and YouTube. All of our best bets, strategies, bet-alongs, and so much more. That's Line Sniper HQ on socials and YouTube. Keep it nice and simple. But enough stalling. Alas, it is time that we get into this week of sports and this MLB postseason picture. Now, we're going to start off in the ALCS, but I'm being informed I have to give Knish 30 seconds max to say he was right about the Rays, but only 30 seconds, young man, so go ahead.
I mean, here's what's fantastic. People like me who grow up in the Midwest, they don't got the coastal elites, the fancy out there. People involved at the show, I'm New York, I'm Big G. The Rays come in 1/5 of the payroll, $20 million compared to, $800 million whatever the Yankees are spending on players. They take them right toe-to-toe, step up. It felt like, I was out there with them going against, Georgia and all the people in the studio that, want to really talk it up. They're I'm New York, I'm walking down Main Street with the Versace bag.
All right. Enough. Forget
down.
about it. That is enough.
It.
You don't see me attacking.
That's why I gotta listen to all these New York accents on the show, and now, all right. That was great. Rays World Series champions.
Knish, don't bring the fact that I say water over water into this. Okay? All right. You don't see me attacking your Padres' future that you got going on. But guys, let's talk about the aftermath of that said Yankees-Rays matchup. We have Rays versus Astros for the ALCS. Now, currently, it's sitting at Rays 2, Astros nothing. Pretty low scoring game so far, but Tampa is just playing ahead and playing smart is what we probably gather at this point in time. So what do you guys see happening tonight? James, start us off on this one. Can the Rays close it out?
So I have the Rays winning this series. I have a nice little future bet. I know Knish probably does as well on this Rays baseball team who plays the game the right sabermetric way. I mean, this is kind of what us baseball fans have been clamoring for a long time. For a team to come in, use starters at the right time. They ran out there 9 left-handed batters in the game this series, in the last series. So they play the game the right way. But here's the thing: today is the worst matchup for them by far. When I look at this game, I'm focusing on Ryan Yarbrough versus that Astros lineup. Yarbrough doesn't miss a lot of bats, and you have an Astros team that has struck out the least amount of any team in Major League Baseball through the shortened season. So when you couple the fact that the Rays had 10 hits, the Astros had 10 hits yesterday, no runs, obviously, hitting the ball very hard, great contact rates on those, hard hit rates on those connected balls. Here's the thing. Yarbrough's not going to miss these bats, so there's going to be a lot of balls in play. Sooner or later, those balls have to start dropping for this Astros team. So while I do like the Rays to finish off the series, most likely in 6 tonight, Yarbrough against this lineup, it's just not a good matchup for him.
No, I mean it was a cute take. So I'm not surprised James is backing the cheaters. Unfortunately, the Astros, unlike previous years, don't know what Yarborough's going to throw tonight. So they might struggle a little bit, unfortunately, to get the bat. Here's the thing: I think the series structure, and James makes some great points in regard to Yarborough and the contact and all that. And I get it, and I know the Astros hit a lot of balls hard last night, didn't really work out. Here's the bottom line: they don't have the pitching to be in a 7-game series that's back to back to back to back to back to back. The depth of the bullpen, the depth of the race starters, it's just not there for the Astros. And I think the series structure really puts them in a tough bind, especially now down 2-0. If they get in any type of trouble, they're going to a bullpen that doesn't have a lot of depth. I like the Rays. I think this year, and not to mention the Rays just be, it didn't hit me until just now. They beat the Yankees last series. So I like the Rays tonight. I'm going with Rays all the way. I'm thinking it's bring the brooms out, baby. Give me a little sweet.
Oh, baby.
I like how exciting you just try to make that, because I'm going to be honest, it's not the most exciting series unless you're a Rays fan, I guess. But Tampa is just, it's a very solid team. And yeah, they have been winning pretty much every matchup, regardless of pitching matchup even, so whatever. So both the guys like the Rays to win this series. Knish says tonight, James says not quite, but soon. All right, but on the other side of the bracket, it's the Dodgers and Braves battling for the National League. Atlanta went up 1-0 last night. Knish, what are you liking on this side of the board? Braves have yet to lose a game in the postseason. Does that keep going?
Well, speaking of cheating, they sent me the script when Clayton Kershaw was supposed to be the pitcher tonight. So I put in the Dodgers, thinking it was going to be the Kershaw show, and then about 2 hours ago, he got scratched. So hopefully I didn't, I'm not betting action last night and stuck with that Dodgers price. I'm still liking the Dodgers at a reduced, if you saw, so here's what happened, right? It's minus 155 last night with Kershaw. He gets scratched. It opens up right around minus 115, minus 120. Immediately steams up about 15 cents. I'm okay still backing the Dodgers right about to minus 135, minus 140. It's not as much as the hammer play it was last night when I was, when I was filling it out and saying I liked LAD, especially with what Kershaw was coming off of. We'll have to wait for tomorrow for Kershaw's, start. I think he's going to pitch tomorrow. Looked like he was just taking one extra day of rest. But tonight, he's scratched. I'm still going to back the Dodgers. Still the better team. Still the better lineup. Still the better bullpen. I'm going with LAD at the price, even with no Kershaw.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Knish. But James, we want to hear your take. Your thoughts matter too. So talk to us about them.
Like Joey thought he was setting me straight on the ALCS. I'm going to set him straight on the NLCS, okay? You mentioned a better bullpen and a better lineup. Those two things do not exist. This Braves lineup is just as good as that Dodgers lineup. It has proven so over the last 2 seasons. And the bullpen in LA is a complete mess. Gatterall and May, their 2 best pitchers, were used last night. May's not. You're going to see May today. He pitched 3 innings last night. Gatterall, you may see. But after those 2, they don't have anyone to get outs in that bullpen, especially against a Braves team that hits soft-going pitchers well. And you have to have another secondary pitch. We got guys like Acuna, Freeman, Ozuna at the top of that lineup. Very difficult. Plus, today, you have a guy named Ian Anderson, one of the best young pitchers in baseball, 13 Ks per 9, an excellent changeup to get out those left-handed batters. Now, what I will say is this. The right-handers for the Dodgers, and they are right-handed heavy, have a little bit of an advantage today. So while I do like the Braves, I like them better against Kershaw, believe it or not, because the Braves absolutely smash left-handed hitting, absolutely destroy it. So I would like the Braves at that inflated number. It's like a plus 150 at some places. Preferred that. But what I do like today is the over. I think both these teams are going to get off the schneid. And more importantly, when it comes to the hitting today, Texas has been a pitcher's ballpark because the roof has been closed. It's open today, so you're looking at an 84-degree day in Texas. Absolutely love the over. But the Braves will eventually prevail in the series because they have just as good of a lineup, and their pitching is just simply better.
All right. Well, you guys are really playing the opposites here today pretty well. So Knish does, in fact, see the Atlanta hype train hitting a stop stop, at least for now, courtesy of the Dodgers tonight. Kind of shocking, Joey. I thought you'd be, high on the Braves with James. But while we do have both of these games tonight, I want to talk about the prop market here. So do you guys have any player props that you're watching? Maybe some strikeouts, maybe some, inning-based bets. Tell me everything about that. And James, why don't you, start us off, since Joey is probably going to have to pay attention to what you have to say first.
So obviously I mentioned that over. The one thing I do like today in the prop market is Ian Anderson strikeout prop. You're looking at only 6 strikeouts right there. It's right around, minus 110. Again, his strength is actually reverse split. So when we talk about the left-handed lineup, the left-handed hitters in this Dodgers lineup, you're looking at Bellinger, you're looking at Seager, and you got Jock Peterson in the lineup today. Those are 3 guys who I don't think will be able to handle that Ian Anderson changeup. Plus, a guy in the postseason averaging 13 Ks per 9. I look at him to probably go at least 5, maybe 6 innings tonight. Will give up some runs, but I think he also misses some bats.
All right, cool. Thank you, man. What about you, Knish? What are your thoughts there?
Now listen, I hustled you folks here. You thought just because I didn't fill it on the sheet, I wasn't going to come ready with a player prop? You think a professional like me isn't going to be ready? You think I didn't take a look at it? Listen, here's the bottom line. I'm going Mookie Betts, that NL MVP, even though he might not win it because Freeman, might screw him out of it. The NL MVP, Mookie Betts, over total bases 1.5. Mookie struggled last night, 0 for 4. You're not going to get him again. I know J Maz wants to talk up Ian and yada 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 about he's left. I don't want to hear it. Player like that, MVP caliber, he's not getting held down 2 nights in a row. Like the over for Mookie Betts. And you know what? There might be a couple of home run props out there, as you said. Now, James did make a great point in terms of the weather, and the ball might be flying out tonight. I like the over as well. So I'm going to be, I might take a little sprinkle on a couple of home run props there if I can find a few nice prices. So I don't hate those as well, especially when they, knock Anderson out after, 2 or 3 innings.
All right, well, thank you guys. I love talking baseball with you boys, but we have to change the subject here because we actually have some football tonight. Isn't that so weird? I mean, literally, it's Tuesday night here. Football is a thing that is happening in 2020 because at this point, honestly, why not? Everything is on the table here in 2020. But tonight we have the undefeated Buffalo Bills, a really weird sentence also to say, and they're up against the undefeated Tennessee Titans. So the Bills are 4-0, the Titans just 3-0. Had a little COVID scare that led us, to having this weird lineup. Now, originally the Bills were also scheduled for Thursday, but now that's been pushed to Monday. A lot going on, but I just want to focus on tonight. So who wins tonight? What are the lines? Whose undefeated streak comes to a close? What do you guys like? Commissioner, what are you thinking? Tell me, man.
So I'll eat the crow here. I thought this Bills team was, fugazi, fraudulent in the offseason there, and they have done nothing but stick it to me. And so I'm going to keep riding the Buffalo Bills wagon here. I like them tonight. There's some -3, 115 out there, but, I've seen the, 3.5 market, so I would find the best price and go with the Bills. The Titans, obviously, are going to be missing a number. The Corey Davis is out. The possession receiver, Adam Humphries, is out. They've had the COVID issues of lack of practice in that. I like the Bills to keep. For me, the Bills fade is next week, going against the Chiefs when they have to do this back-to-back travel thing, and with the rescheduling that thrown up. So for me, I'll probably wait until next week for the Bills, but I think this is a massively overvalued Titans team, and Buffalo's the real deal. I'm laying it with the Bills tonight.
Cool. James, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything Knish just has to say right there. Plus, look, the Tennessee Titans almost cost us the NFL season. Let's just be real. So placing a bet on them, it would be like betting against yourself almost, because this team doesn't even maybe not deserve to even be playing in this game. They probably should have just forfeited it, but here we are. Again, with Knish, the 3.5 is there. Don't need to take that currently. You can wait. You can go find your 3 because, I do think that you're looking at a game that's going to be a lot of control football, especially from the Tennessee side. So the 3 is the key number. You're going to want to go grab that. But again, you're looking at a team in Tennessee that hasn't been able to practice. Okay. Now, are they rested? Does that factor in a little bit more? I don't really know. That's a tough thing to say. The team hasn't been on the practice field for weeks. I think that makes how they've been able to implement any kind of a game plan to stop Josh Allen. How can they implement any kind of a game plan to move the ball against a very good Bills defense? So for me, I'm looking at it's a Bills -3. I'm not going to lay the 3.5. I'm going to either find the 3 or maybe try and get the Bills live. And when you come to a team that hasn't been practicing, haven't been conditioning, how are they going to go 4 quarters with a team that's going to smash them in the face on offense and defense? Bills -3 or wait for something live.
All right, so in the Tannehill-Allen shootout, Knish and James both like the Bills on the point spread. Yes, I caught you, Knish, saying Fugazi, but talking bad about New York, whatever. But now we're starting to agree here, gentlemen, so I'm liking that, obviously. So look out for that. We actually saw the line on the Bills get a bit better this morning, starting at around minus 115. And then last I checked, I think it was about minus 105 or 103, something like that. And while we're looking at this game, let's look at the prop market a little bit as well. So let's look this over. We got Tannehill and Allen, obviously Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, some playmakers here. Anything you guys like in the player prop field, or are you guys watching the totals line tonight? James, who's your moneymaker tonight?
So I did mention the Bills, very stout defense, very good defense, but they are missing a really key piece in that linebacking core, and Matt Milano, who is graded out as one of the best coverage linebackers over the last 3 years, top 10 basically every single year at Pro Football Focus. So what I'm looking at is, although I don't believe that the Titans will cover the 3, I do like Jonnu Smith props tonight against a linebacking core that hasn't been able to guard the tight end. Gesicki for Miami went absolutely haywire against this team last time they played, last time we saw the Bills. So I'm looking at Jonnu Smith. I'm seeing over 56.5 yards. Pretty easy, especially considering he will be one of the main targets for Tannehill today. So over for Jonnu Smith. That's my favorite prop.
All right, cool. Knish, got any takes on that?
I will say, that's a nice one. I like Jamie. I thought I played some of the Jonnu Smith as well. I want to trash it, but I mean, no, that's a great one. I saw some of that matchup data as well with Milano out. So no, that's got the Knish stamp of approval. However, I'm going to give it another one for you tonight. I'm going Derrick Henry under. For my part of it, unless the matchup favors the Titans where they can be out front and churn the ball, I'd like them to reduce some of his snap, especially if they're going to be playing from behind. Buffalo's been, their offense, I don't know how it's happening, but their offense has been fantastic this year. The pace is up. I think Buffalo, if they can get out to a lead to this game, it prevents the way that the Titans kind of want to play football. Even though they're up a little bit of pace, they can't run Henry as much. I'm going under 99.5. I think his totals kind of week in, week out are technically, inflated for me. So I like Henry unders just in general as they kind of get some other guys involved in the run game. But for me, I think they're trailing this game, trailing second half. They got to go away from the run a little bit. He's not going to get his normal carry load. And I like Buffalo's, front seven in the box. So for me, Henry unders.
All right, so Derrick Henry's rushing yard line sure is set at 99, isn't it? But he has broken that 100 mark twice this season already. And Knish says we will see Derrick Henry on the under of that mark tonight. So D. Henry under 99.5 rushing yards. And James has his eyes on the over for total points. All right, guys, we are going to jump from the NFL, but not too far because we're going to talk a little bit of NCAA football. Now, we are a bit away from the actual, main setup of games this weekend, but it's college. We got lots of games all week long, and then, yes, of course, everything happening on Saturday. Now, you two have all of this to pick from, so why don't you guys tell me what you like on the NCAA side of things of this pool? We got plenty of futures to pick from. We got called shots on the game. I mean, just somebody take it away. Knish, go.
I'm going. I've been set it up. We have been crushing college football. We have been crushing the SEC. And I've got a little Knishi threesome here for the Saturday football of SEC games. We're going with a 3-pack. I like Bama laying the points against Georgia. If you can find a minus 5.5, I think Bama goes in. Offense is just too good. Defense matches up much better, even though it's been struggling against Georgia. So we're going to lay it with Alabama. We're also going to take the points with LSU. That steamed down this morning. Got some info that Florida's going to be missing a number of defensive starters with COVID. So you saw that come down from 14 down to 11.5 or 12. I would still play that at 11.5. You can find LSU 11.5 or better. And we're going to keep riding the lane train. Ole Miss, I like that. I know Arkansas, they've been up. They've been better this year. They've got a nice coach in Sam Pittman. That all comes to an end this Saturday as I love what's happening I think Lane had phenomenal play calling game against Alabama. He's got the offense where it needs to be. Defense isn't very good, but they're going against an Arkansas team whose offense is in and out and just not going to be able to keep up. Those are the three I like. Lay it with Bama, take the points with LSU, lay it with Ole Miss.
All right, all right. Thank you for that. JD, any thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think?
Look, I mean, when it comes to SEC football, I'm gonna go ahead and ride on Knish because I know that he's well connected down there. Plus, he's got his guys down there. When I think about football, I know you got a New Yorker. Obviously, Knish is from the Midwest. I'm a West Coast guy, so I think about the Pac-12. There you go.
I think too many New Yorkers I deal with anyway.
I got you. I think about the Pac-12, man. So, and again, Pac-12, the last guy to start. Usually, the is it even in the Power Five? That can be a question that we can probably answer a little bit later. But we have some opportunities to make some money out west as well. So, when I'm looking at the Pac-12, I'm looking at futures for the Pac-12 championship. I think there's value on USC. You can find it anywhere from 2-1 to 3-1. Here's the thing. They will be in the Pac-12 championship game. I can promise you that. They have an easy schedule against, and the South is totally down this year. You're looking at a Utah team that had been the favorite, the last couple of years. They lost 19 starters. You have a UCLA team that's an absolute dumpster fire. Colorado has no clue what's going on. Colorado and Arizona are probably the two worst teams in the entire Pac-12. And then you have an Arizona State team that I think is just a little too early for them. So I have them getting to the Pac-12 championship game over 60% of the time. Once they're against probably a Washington or an Oregon team, both of which are missing a lot from the offensive side of the football. Oregon's rebuilding an entire offensive line plus quarterback. Same thing with Washington, although both should have pretty solid defenses. So, but once we get there and we're sitting on 2 or 3-1, we can make some decisions as to how we want to proceed. USC 2 to 3-1. They will absolutely get out of the South. They're by far the most talented team in that side of the conference. So that is by far my favorite college football futures bet. And of course, the Pac-12, that's what I handicap. So that's what I could go with.
All right. Well, a little bit of college ball action right there. And well, guys, we got some very solid bets from you today, from the gridiron to the diamond, and I'm going to give the guys here in the studio a second to quickly log into their DraftKings accounts and obviously snag some of those for themselves since they're very into betting, clearly. And in the meantime, we're going to have some fun. We're going to play a game that we didn't get to play last week because someone was late. It is time to run the numbers and play The Money Line is Right. Oh, yeah. And James, I think you might be one of the only guys who hasn't gotten to play this game yet. So here's how it goes. I'm going to give you guys a bet up on the screen without a price. You will have to guess that price using your big, beautiful brain. And whoever is the closest wins. It is very simple. And of course, if you need a second to figure that out, think on your feet, because here we go. And we're going to jump into this with some college ball action. Stick with that last question. And we're going to jump past James's Pac-12 champ pick to the whole NCAA championship. Okay. Now, we're going to be picking Ohio State, the Buckeyes, to win the NCAA championship. So let's put those betting brains to the test and see who knows their stuff. James, you're going to get first pick here. Where do you think the line was set as of noon today on DraftKings?
So I'm a little cheating, I guess, because I did check conference futures earlier today to grab that Pac-12 bet.
No wonder you picked the Astros.
I noticed Ohio State about 4-1 to win the Big Ten. So I'm thinking they're going to be sitting about 8-1 to win the national title.
Well, all right. 8-1. There we go. Now, Knish, talk to me, man. What are your numbers? Where are they at?
You know what? The only team that I might hate more than the Yankees is the Ohio State Buckeyes. But unfortunately, I don't know how they're not going to win this Big Ten. The Big Ten is just a dumpster fire outside of Ohio State this year. I think they're going to walk in there. And they were, honestly, it was one of the national title futures that I was looking into placing myself. I'm going to say Ohio State is more along the lines of 3-1 to win the national championship. So I think they'll be right up there with Clemson. They've got a light schedule. I think they're going to come out of the Big Ten, no doubt, be a playoff contender and a natty contender. So I'll say plus 300.
All right, well, I guess we'll just have to see who takes the advantage here in college ball. I'm getting a thumbs up, yes, from Chris to go ahead and give you the answer, which is Ohio State plus 250. Yeah, not that high of a payout considering we're so far from it, but obviously I do still like those odds. The Buckeyes are, surprising to no one, a very good football team. And I know, crazy concept, even if Knish doesn't like them. But obviously, Knish, the winner here. No surprise there. You win quite often. Pretty good at this game. I'll toot your horn. What are you thinking here? Are you slipping this one into your futures portfolio?
The only factor here would be it's such a low price with a lot of the uncertainty in the season. Am I running to line up and jump on 250? No. I honestly would rather lay some of the chalk. I was looking for a minus 200, minus 250 to win the Big Ten. That seemed, as James said, that's more minus 400 now in that realm. So for me, I'm not 250 with all the uncertainty this season. Not something I'm going to go crazy on. But I do think they win the Big Ten and make the playoffs. So it'll give you some options if they get there. But I was hoping for a little richer price.
All right. Well, let's just keep the ball rolling here with more football. But from a winner to a loser would actually be mean, so we're not going to say that. We're going to talk about the Jets. And a fun bet we saw today is the Jets to go 0-16, the full tank. So Jets to win 0 games this regular season. Joey, it's your turn for first pick since you were the winner of last round. Why don't you go ahead and give us, where you think the line is at currently?
Have the Giants won a game? Why didn't we do the Giants? Did they win a game? Why didn't we do the Giants? Why do we got to do the Jets? 0-16 is quite a tall task. I don't think that, usually you've got to be, and listen, I've lived through an 0-16 season here in Detroit, so I know how bad you have to be to reach the 0-16 pinnacle of legendary status. I don't think I'm going to say 10-1. I think that the division is bad, the schedule is light. They haven't been a massive dog in any of these games. They're not like 17, 20-point dogs or any of that. I think they'll win a game, so I'm going to say it's pretty high. I'll say 10-1.
All right, cool. We're going to lock that in for you. James, go ahead with your numbers.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of bad teams. Let's be real. The haves and the have-nots, the NFL, I don't know if there's ever been a bigger divide. So the Jets will be able to play some of those really shitty teams. Let's just be real here. So going 16 or 0-16, to me, it seems it's been a while. I mean, your Lions, Joe, are the last guys to pull that one off. I think it's even higher than 10. I'm going to say it's got to be closer to 20-1. I'll lock in. How about 18-1? We'll go plus 1,800.
We got that. We're good. All right, we locked in your numbers, guys. And honestly, when I saw this line, I was kind of into it. It's a pretty decent price. And let's face it, the Jets are not a good team. So what are the odds they are hard tank to get that first draft pick?
Whoa.
Well, it is a plus 725. I mean, hey, you can definitely toss $125 at that and maybe walk away with $1,000 come week 16. But Commissioner Uncle K, what do you think of this? Is it a pickup or is it a hard pass?
Well, the other side.
No. That is a hard pass. Like I said, they're not going to go 0-16. There's too many, James. There's too many bad teams in this league right now. Too much uncertainty. You can run into it. There's a ton of teams dealing with mass injuries. They've actually gotten a little healthier. I actually know some modeling folks that are actually pretty high on the Jets who have lost some money recently. But no, they're not anywhere close bad enough to go 0-16. Absolutely don't take any money on that.
All right, well, gentlemen, I have one more bet for you two, and we're taking it to James's wheelhouse of golf here. Knish, I have no idea if you know your golf or not, but either way, I don't either. We're heading down to Augusta for this one. So, Bryson DeChambeau to win the 2020 Masters. Now, Knish, to help you out, we're going to make JD go first, so at least you can just go either one above or below him if all else fails.
I feel
so
like
James,
he looks at this shit every day. How are you going to get it?
He loves it. He lives it. He breathes it. He does it. He is basically Bryson DeChambeau. So, James, what's the price on this bet as of today?
It's going to vary market to market, obviously. I'm pretty happy because I actually have a 30-1 on Bryson to win the Masters. He's not 30-1. That is not my guess here. At this point, he's got to be the favorite to win. I think I've seen him anywhere from 8-12, so I'll just pick the middle and grab a 10-1.
All right, 10-1. Knish, what do you think?
Oh man, it's I actually James Golf. I love it. He hit me. This no joke. He hit me at Gary Woodland last year's U.S. Open betting early 150-1. So I grabbed some DeChambeau as well. But I totally agree. This price has got to be lower. I'm going to say 8-1. I think he's shocked. I know I've seen out there. I think he's going to be the favorite. People love betting this guy. He's coming off the Open win, so I'll say a little lower. I'll say 8-1.
All right, now Bryson, obviously, like James said, is the favorite to win currently, and Knish said that as well. So, of course, that could change, but right now he's a solid 300 away from the rest of the pack. And his price is sitting at plus 700. What? 7-1 odds for the Masters tournament. Look, it's a weird year for all sports, and I don't know golf basically at all. But I feel like this isn't the juiciest bet, but that's why I have, of course, well, I was going to say James, but it looks like Joey is really the winner here. Well, I have both of you guys for all the sports betting content and in-game analysis. That's what Line Sniper is for. So tell me, and both of you can give me your opinions here. Would you pick this?
I'll just go. That's a terrible number.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna pass it to Jay. Do you think his game fits the like he usually with the long drives and that, which was effective in the U.S. Open? That doesn't seem to fit the Masters course as well. Would you give us a little bit more in-depth breakdown than I can do here?
To a certain extent, you're right. However, here's the thing about Augusta: there is no rough. It's all fairway from tip to tip. So if you do have a bomber, let's remember Tiger Woods. Basically, they had to change the entire golf course because he bomb and gouged it en route to his historic win back in '97. So Bryson's game is going to move anywhere. The other thing about Bryson is that he's as far as he hits the ball, he's also one of the best putters in the world, and those are some of the hardest greens to putt. He is the rightful favorite here. 7-1's a terrible number. I probably would make him more like 12. I haven't ran numbers for Augusta yet. But don't bet him at 7. If anyone who follows us, you probably should have a better number 20 or better. But yeah, right there, that number's not bettable, no.
You guys are playing so nice on this game. I just want to say you boys are making me so proud. But thank you, gentlemen, of course, for playing. Maybe we should start keeping track of who has the most money line is right wins and keep Mr. Knish happy there. But we'll worry about that later on. For now, we have something very important to get to, and that is, of course, your best bets. Now, I know you've both done this, but in case you've lost it, don't worry. All I need is one more good bet. Well, I kind of need your best bet. So whether you've already said it today or you're holding on to it and you want to tell it to us now, no matter what, where, or when, just your absolute best bet of the week for the guys and gals at home. Joey, you're up to bat first, so let's go ahead and swing, baby boy. What is it?
Now, we already talked about 3 SEC games, and we're diving back in for one more and for the best bet. My favorite play of the week in the SEC, Tennessee laying the points against Kentucky. I laid some -5.5. Some -5 is out there. I would even, some 6 is still around. I would even still lay that. But if you can get a 5.5, that's great. Kentucky, just an absolute miracle win last week against Mississippi State. Outgained 3-1. Couldn't get anything done on offense. Mississippi State had 6 turnovers. And Tennessee, even though that game in the second half against Georgia went awry, it was competitive in the first half. Kirby Smart, the master of second half defensive adjustments, was able to shut them down. No way Kentucky's able to do that this weekend. I like Tennessee as a bye team this year. It sets up perfectly after last week's results. So for me, Tennessee -5.5. I like it a lot. Vols are back this weekend, so I'm going to have a lot of Tennessee best bet of the week.
All right. Well, Joey, bring us the fire today. I like it. And James, you have the honors of wrapping up the show in a beautiful DeChambeau. Did you like what I did there? It's called the callback. Well, what is your best bet this time? Tell us.
Veteran. Wow, that was impressive. We're going to stay in the world of golf. That's my forte, so let's stay there. The boys this week are at Shadow Creek in Las Vegas, which is a wonderful golf course. Huge field. It's the highest purse before the Masters that these guys will see until Augusta in a week. So you have some of the best golfers there. My best bet is Daniel Berger over Tyrrell Hatton. A couple of guys who are, the top 20 guys in the world. Daniel Berger is currently a even money dog. Tyrrell Hatton is coming off of a win in Europe last week, which was a huge tournament, spent a lot of energy. Now he's coming all the way to Vegas, and I make Berger a favorite in this matchup. I have him about -125-ish or so. He's just a better golfer than Hatton is at this stage. Berger's been wonderful post-suspension, one of the best players on tour since the suspension. So I have a huge edge on that particular matchup, regardless of the fact that Hatton could have been drinking for the last 24 hours, for all we know, considering he just won a huge tournament over in Europe. So that's my best bet. Daniel Berger, full tournament head-to-head over Tyrrell Hatton.
All right, and just like that, with 2 excellent bets from these 2 brilliant bettors, we have done it, you guys. Baseball, football, even a little golf in there. We ran you down what is happening this week and beyond for the world of sports betting. I hope all of you at home listen up and take some of these bets. I'm personally going to take a look at that Bills bet. right after this with the boys in the studio. We're going to talk and hopefully make some money. So thank you guys for that, both of you, James and Joey. And if you missed any of those bets we talked about or just need a little recap action, remember, we post this entire show and more on our YouTube channel, Line Sniper HQ, and even more content on our social media at Line Sniper HQ. Same. So there you go. But that is all for now, and we will be back next week with another episode for you all. This has been In The Crosshairs, brought to you by LineSniper.com, your definitive resource for sports betting content and in-game analysis. For the team here in the studio, I'm Ali Melendez. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.
Steps into it, the windmill slam.